Hi, Danielle from Revolution Yoga, and this is part 2 of our Christmas class series. So we're going to do some sitting postures. So sitting with the legs out in front. Draw the belly in and bring the right foot onto the inside of the thigh for some half butterfly. Start to move that hip up and down. If your thigh comes down to the mat, then you can bring your foot up on top of the thigh. Start to get some movement into the hip. If your hip's a little clunky, go nice and slow and steady. Otherwise, you can get a little bit more movement into the hip as it warms. It's a great posture to help open the hips to allow us to sit comfortably in meditation posture. I'm going to grab the bottom of the right foot with the right hand. Inhale, lengthening. Exhalation, drawing around and behind. Inhale as we come back. Exhale back to starting. Keep going. This gets the whole range of movement in the hip. And also a nice stretch for the hamstrings. Last one. Release that right leg, a little shake, and then bring the left leg in for half butterfly. Remember, the foot can be on the inside of the thigh or up on top. Keep nice and tall in the upper body. Get some movement into that left hip. Grab the bottom of the left foot with the left hand. Inhalation, lengthening. Exhalation, bringing it around and behind. Inhalation, lengthening. Exhalation, coming back to that starting position. And just keep going. Shoulders and the hips, where we tend to hold majority of our tension. So it's worth giving our attention to those areas to help release tension. one. And then just give the legs a shake. I'm going to do some forward bending. So you can pull the buttocks out behind, draw the belly in, sit nice and tall, and bring the hands on the thighs. Inhalation, raising both arms up and folding forward to wherever is comfortable for you. Try and keep the upper body straight, the back straight. We often tend to hunch over so we can get further down, but we want to lead with the chest. Inhalation, coming back up. And exhalation, forward bend. This is Paschimottanasana. Forward, seated forward bend. And as you can probably feel, it's a beautiful stretch for the hamstrings and the lower back. So it's important that we keep the belly drawing in as we bend forward, and that helps protect the lower back. Couple more. Beautiful. I'm going to do some warming for the feet. So bring the hands behind, relax the belly, and then crunch the toes. Bring them, draw them back, crunch the toes, and back. Our feet carry us around each day, mostly with no complaints. So it's just nice to give them a bit of love and attention. And we get the circulation coming down into those feet, toes, ankles. Now pushing the whole foot down towards the mat, feel the stretch in the top of the foot, and then drawing them back, heels come off the mat. We feel that stretch up through the calves as well. Just keep going. Beautiful. And just bring the feet a little wider apart so you can draw circles with the feet. Beautiful posture for the ankles. And go back the other direction. Feet a little shake, and we're going to come into a squatting position for Manduki frog. So if you struggle to get your heels down onto the floor, you can roll your mat up behind you, and that will give you a little bit of cushioning under the heels of the feet. So bring the elbows into the crooks of the knees, palms together. Inhalation, we draw the palms to the chest, elbows push the knees away so we can lengthen through the adductors, the inner thigh. And we look forward, open the chest, look forward and slightly up. Exhalation, we release the arms, come forward, drop the head. And inhalation, bring those hands back to the heart center, looking forward and up. And just keep going, exhalation. And inhalation, opening. Last one. You can hold it for a few breaths if it feels okay for you. Release the hands down. Sit back on the buttocks. Bring the legs back out. Just take a breath. Next, we're going to do a seated twist. So we bring the right foot onto the outside of the left knee. Now, if you have any knee concerns, you just want to leave this bottom leg, left leg straight. That's perfectly fine. Or you can bend that left leg and bring the foot to the outside of the buttocks. Now we want to just check that we're sitting on both sit bones. We don't want to be leaning over to one side. And if that's the case, you can also put a little cushion on the left side of the buttock to even out. So evening out the sit bones, sitting nice and tall in the upper body. You're going to bring this right elbow into the crook of the right knee. You can grab around the ankle. Bring the left arm around behind, quite close to the lower back. Inhalation, lengthening through the spine. And exhalation, twisting and looking behind. We just stay here for a few breaths. Beautiful deep twist for the spine. Come back to the center and swap the legs over. Left comes to the outside of the right knee. Keep that right leg straight, or bend the knee and bring the foot beside the buttocks. Even out the sit bones so you're nice and level. Bring that left elbow into the crook of the left knee. Right hand comes around behind onto the mat. Inhale, lengthening. And exhale, twisting, looking behind. Stay here for a few breaths. Inhale, come back to the center. We'll do one more on either side. Right elbow into the crook of the right knee. Inhale, lengthening, And exhale, twisting and looking behind. As we get older, our spine health will greatly determine our quality of life. That's why it's nice to keep your yoga practice up so that you can keep that health and flexibility in the spine, whether you're forward bending, backward bending, side bending, twisting. Let's bring fresh blood flow, energy to the spine. Exhale, twist and look behind. Inhale, come back to the center, unravel the legs. Bring the hands behind and just take a couple of breaths here. And come to kneeling at the back of the mat for Marjorie, cat posture. Mat's getting all twisted up. Okay. Sitting on the heels. If it's not comfortable for you to sit on the heels, you can start in that kneeling position. It's not a problem. Hands on the thighs. Take a moment to get nice and long in the spine. Inhalation, we come up onto the knees. Exhalation, we create that tabletop. We arch the spine, draw the belly in, look towards the thighs, push the wrists into the mat. And then we start to roll up the spine till we're looking forward and slightly up. Shoulders move away from the ears. And just keep going. Exhalation, cat posture. Inhalation, opening the chest. It's a really beautiful posture for the spine, the deep muscles of the spine. And really good for anybody who spends a lot of time sitting at a desk. Last one. Come back to that neutral tabletop. Draw the belly in. Inhalation, come up onto the knees. Exhalation, sit back on the heels. Close the eyes. Take a couple of breaths here. then we'll do tiger pose. So inhalation, coming up onto the knees again. Exhalation, we create that tabletop. This time we draw the right knee towards the nose. Inhalation as we draw the leg back and up. Squeeze that right glute. And just keep going. Exhalation, nose to knee. Inhalation. Opening the chest and looking forward as we raise that leg back. And just keep going. Nice controlled movement. Using the core strength here to keep the control in the pose. Last one. Bring that knee down. Inhalation, coming up onto the knees. Exhalation. Sit back on the heels. Take a couple of breaths. You feel the energy moving through your body. Heat building the Manipur chakra. This is an activating Manipur chakra pose. So we get that heat, build that heat. It's great for digestive fire, great for motivation, determination. We're going to do the left side. So inhalation, coming up onto the knees. Bring those hands down, make that tabletop, and then draw the left knee to the nose. Inhalation as we draw the leg back and up. We look forward and open the chest. And just keep going. Exhalation, nose to knees. Inhalation. Last one. And bring that knee back down to the mat. Inhalation, coming up onto the knees. Exhalation, sit back on the heels. Inhale, raise the arms up, bend forward from the hips and come into hare pose. So elbows and forehead are resting on the mat. Let's breathe freely. And sink the buttocks down towards the heels. And on your next inhalation, draw the belly in, raise the upper body up, and exhalation, back to starting. Thank you for joining me for our sitting poses. Keep an eye out for the standing series coming next. Have an awesome day.